Good morning and welcome to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis, and along with Trent Haston, President and CEO of the Roby family of companies, we're your hosts. It's Sunday morning. We're back on WBT for the At Home with Roby show. Thanks for spending it with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. So, Trent, it's mid-June. I don't know how I got to be mid-June this quick, and it is hot outside.
Yeah, man. I think I've been saying for about the last 3 weeks that I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, it got 100, and I played Little League Baseball during the summer, and every day seemed like 95 to 100 degrees. And that faded during the 90s and the 2000s, and I really think this is the first year my memories recollecting those times in the 80s. It's hot.
I agree with you, man. This is hot. When I was in August it would get hot. You hit a couple of hundreds, but not in June. And when I was a kid, my grandparents lived down in Saluda, South Carolina, which if you go down into South Carolina, it's a little bit of a valley down in Columbia. And Columbia is one of the hottest places on earth, by the way. And that's a scientific fact. I don't know if you knew that or not. But it would be so hot at my grandparents' house. No airflow, no nothing. And that's kind of what we have here now. It's just like it's moving up.
It's blazing. I do want to say before we get going on the show today that last Sunday show on Father's Day was very special. You know, we had Dean Kelsey, Hal Tribble, and Dick Johnson had three of mine and my dad and the Roby family's favorite people. I want to thank them for being here, and also the show was special because it was Father's Day and we talked a lot about memories and we got some good feedback. I got some emails from some folks I didn't even know, so thank you, audience, for that. I will say I did get to go on the pontoon boat Sunday with my family.
Nice.
I broke my daughter's leg on the trampoline the day before on Saturday.
Yikes.
So
Happy Father's Day.
Good family time. It is good memories,
she okay?
Right? It's kind of like the heat in the 80s. Yeah, she's fine.
Good,
she's got a cast and
good.
she's tough. But I wanted to ask, does anybody have a problem with mayflies?
Mayflies.
Do you know what a mayfly is?
I'll be honest with you. I just found out about mayflies about 30 seconds before we came on the air. So I would have, and I'm from Shelby, and I still don't know what a mayfly is. I would love to know what a mayfly is.
Well, on this show, you know, we like to start it off with a little bit of local knowledge, a little bit of local history. And if you ever go on the lake or the river, any of our lakes, Norman, Mountain Island, Wiley, Catawba River, there's like 3 or 4 weeks a year that the mayflies come out during the summer, and they'll go dormant for a couple weeks. I think these jokers live 24 hours, and they have the craziest life ever because all they do is try to terrorize humans. But my memory as a child is when the mayflies are out, every time you walk by a tree near the water, you wait for somebody else to get close, and you yank on the tree. And it really becomes like black outside because there's so many mayflies.
Big? Are they big or are they tiny? I know no seams.
I mean, they're about the size. The body's about the size of a dime, but then they have big wings. They're harmless. They just dirty everything up at the lake.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I just never called them a mayfly. I just thought they were a big fly.
Oh, you know what we're talking about now.
I thought they were a big fly. I didn't know they were a mayfly.
And then also this year I'm having a problem with some bees that I think they're like bumblebees in my kid's sandbox. They got yellow stripes on them, but they're not yellow jackets. You know about that?
I don't know anything about that. It's not carpenter bees, is it?
I don't think so. They like sand.
Huh?
Sand bees.
I've never heard of a sand bee. I'm gonna Google that in the next break.
But no, all my heating and air buddies, which I have a bunch of them, I have them all the way up from the big commercial, industrial that work on chillers and do gases and supply gases for those type of equipment, down to the residential. I mean, these guys are tearing at the seams.
I can't imagine how busy they are right now.
So it's good.
I had a guy out to our house last week. On our main floor, the air conditioner it was working, but not quite right. And the guy called me and goes, "Hey, would you mind if I came tomorrow instead of the day?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody out there who needs you a lot more than I do who's absolutely not working."
If you don't think that the heat brings on air conditioning service calls, then own a couple rental houses. And you'll figure out real quick how important the heat and air guy is and how much revenue they get on service calls, which is very well warranted. So
you got that right. So we're going to talk later in the show, Trent, about outdoor spaces, and it is crazy hot right now. But it's fun to get out I live on a golf course. You live on the river. It's fun to get outside, even when you got this heat. But you got to find a way to enjoy it, and you got to find a way to stay cool.
So it's Breeze. Breeze is the way to enjoy the heat, and suntan lotion, sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to oil up with baby oil, and I'm Mr. White over here. I'm pale as they come, and I'd go out and oil up with baby oil and lay in the sun and get crispy.
Who remembers Hawaiian Tropic? Remember Hawaiian Tropic?
Man, that was like baby oil on steroids.
It really was. It was not.
I remember the Hawaiian Tropic babes when I was like 8. They were the most beautiful
8.
women in the world. But now I'm SPF 50 on the face and 30 on the arms, and it's important to protect yourself. I
completely agree.
The problem is when you jog, if you put it up, I try to even put it on when I jog, and it gets in your eyes.
You start sweating. I swim a lot. I do a lot of swimming now, and when I put it on when I get in the pool, and
now, aren't you going to have to swim a mile coming up?
I got 1.2 miles I got to swim in about 30 days.
Talk about that. That's pretty cool.
No, there's an event July 24th up at Lake Norman called Lake Norman SEAL Swim. It's with U.S. Navy SEALs, some retired SEALs, or they have an event. They raise money to combat veteran suicides and also to help fight PTSD, which is a big contributor to veteran suicide. So those guys are going to swim 13.6 miles. I've signed up to swim the first 1.2 with them. You can go to lknsealswim.org and find out more about that. But it's so every morning I'm up 6 a.m. in the pool training. So I swam 1,000 yards this morning. So
wow.
Yeah.
And this is Ashley Davis joining the Roby family with all things that we know are important. So he's part of the team. Everybody knows that we're real big into charity. I mean, our flagships are Little League Baseball and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But Ashley, that is awesome. Support Ash in his swim. I think it's great that you're doing that, man.
Thanks a lot, man. We'll put some information on the website about that.
That's how you stay cool.
That's how you stay cool in the summertime. Pool and breeze, so water and breeze. So when we come back, Trent, we're going to talk. We mentioned outdoors. It's hot. We're going to talk about outdoor living, how to make your outdoor living space more livable. We're going to have Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric with us. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. We'll be right back.